Hello, I'm Laura. It's Tuesday, March 30th, 2026, and these are today's Heartlines. Our theme for Heartlines this week is Rise. And today we are focused on the idea that we can rise and rise again. It's springtime here in the Midwestern United States, and like many places around the world where the seasons are changing, the temperatures are on a roller coaster ride. First, the temperatures go up into 91 degrees Fahrenheit, and then they plummet back down 2 days later below freezing, and then back up to the 90s, and then back down to freezing again with some storms thrown in between there. So up and down we go when there's a change in seasons. Well, the same thing applies to life. When things change in life, there's an up and down roller coaster ride to it, whether it's in our lives personally or in our world. Recently, here in the United States, we were going up the incline of the roller coaster, click, 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 a long process to get to a peak where we were looking at the Department of Homeland Security budget that would pay security officers at the airport so they could take care of their families, and that would help reduce the chaos at the airport as well, while separating out the work of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement so that that could be discussed regarding their policies and how they've handled things in the city streets of the United States. And it looked like that was going to pass when the Senate unanimously voted for it. So our hopes were at that peak, and things looked terrific like they do from the top of the roller coaster. But then the House of Representatives voted it down. The GOP in the House of Representatives did not accept that bill without paying everybody. And down the roller coaster we went again. Life can do that to us, where our hopes build up slowly, and then things seem at a peak, and then something brings them back down in disappointment and frustration. But what we can always remember is that when we take that downward plunge, it actually gives us a sense of energy and momentum to rise back up again, to rise and rise again, as we did a couple of days ago with the No Kings protest, in which millions of people participated, came together in connection and community to say we are a free people here in the United States and around the world. So when life slaps you down, remember, you can rise. And if it does it again, you can rise again until the ups and downs level out for a time and you bring it to an easy pause, like at the end of the roller coaster ride, to take a deep breath and relax before going back in to the ride again. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to take that deliberate pause. We are going to let the roller coaster just ease to a stop as we focus on a special thought and take a deep breath and close our eyes and hold this idea in our hearts. I am audaciously alive, for each time I fall, I rise and rise again. I am audaciously alive, for each time I fall, I rise and rise again. And so it is. So when we get our hopes up because there are promised peace talks to end the war in the Middle East, and they don't come out to be what was promised, and we are disappointed, back down, or when we see gas prices going down and we're hopeful about that and then they shoot back up, or when we watch the markets rise and fall like a roller coaster and like the spring temperatures. Life can be an up and down process, but we can always bring our ride to a pause and rest and remember that we can rise and rise again. And I'd like to close with these words from the poet laureate Maya Angelou, the late great Maya Angelou, who wrote of her ancestry from enslaved people in the United States and her struggle through the civil rights movement in a beautiful poem called I Rise. And she closes it this way: leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Whatever our background, we are the hope and dream of carrying forward what we are meant to be for each other on this earth and for ourselves. Let's rise, and when we get knocked down, rise again. Have a wonderful day.